I know a couple of you were, I meant to send it to everybody. We got a quote from CSI
Ah,
for a porta potty.
Yep.
And we can save almost $100 a month by going with CSI.
Yep.
And
Very
they're
good.
local, so I think it makes good business sense. But it's
Yep.
something we need to vote on. I had left a message for the contact at CSI for porta potties is Kayla. And I had left her a message to queue us up for a May 1st start. Thinking that keep it clean, go with the start of the month, so we're not looking at partial billings for things.
Yeah. So do you want me to call United tomorrow? Or do
Yes,
we wanna-
please.
Okay, so United. So we'll have them stop on April 30th or May
Yep.
1st. April 30th. What days of the week are these? Oh, the 30th is
You
this Sunday.
can have them stop April 30th and remove May 1st.
Okay, because the 30th is a Sunday.
Right.
We'll have to do the May 1st. Okay, now, do they have a way to get in there when it's not
That's,
open?
that's what I was thinking, right?
Yeah, there is. The lower gate looks like it's locked, but it's not.
Okay, does United and CSI know that?
We can let them know
We
that.
might have to-
I'm not gonna assume that they do know that.
Okay, I will
Right.
take care of United Site Services.
All right, and would you also call CSI just to confirm that they got my message to start? And
Yes.
they could deliver their thing, May 1st, 2nd, or even May 3rd.
Okay, because I think I have their. I think I have the email with that contact, quote, okay.
Okay, and
Oh, here it is.
their phone number is in the local directory if you
Yep,
need it.
Kayla
if it's-
Curtis.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, the number's there, okay, and then I'll call them too. Okay, do you want them to come in on the Wednesday? Or do you want them in on the 1st? What's easier?
Probably the first.
Whatever works for them, first or second.
Yeah, right.
We need to
Yeah.
make sure that the other one is gone.
Okay,
So
That's-
probably the 2nd or the 3rd.
okay. All right,
There's only room for one there.
May 2 or 3, okay. And I'll let them know about the lower gate, I guess, okay.
Yep.
Sounds
Just tell
good.
them it looks like it's padlocked, but if the driver goes to it, he can see how to undo it and get in.
Okay.
And shut it when they leave, just
Yep.
Here comes
lock
Stan.
it, just shut, make it like it was. Here's
Um,
Stanley.
Okay, now do we want it every other, cleaning every other? week?
every other. I talked to
Every other.
Stan. He's comfortable with every other week, so.
All right,
you
if
know,
it gets.
that- There's
clean-
a slight additional savings there. I mean,
Right,
Yeah.
we have one person there twice a week, two
Yep.
people once a week.
okay,
and maybe there's an occasional resident that uses it, so I
Okay.
mean, it's
Well, an
barely
occasional truck
used.
driver. An
Yeah.
occasional truck driver.
Okay.
Oh, there's Stan. There's
okay,
Stan.
so if
Hey,
we need
guys.
to bump it up to every week, just you just let us know.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we'll be fine. In fact, I think, I don't know how often we can change it, but I would say in the winter months, we could probably go every 3, but I
Yeah,
think for now, we should go every 2 for the summer for sure.
okay, all right,
Yeah, I think, Stan, we'll cross that bridge when we get closer. I don't wanna
Yep.
come across like we're juggling them around too much right at
No,
the beginning,
no.
Right.
that's all.
all right, sounds good.
So I'd like to make a motion to approve the CSI as our new porta potty vendor for the transfer station.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
all right, all in favor, to say aye.
I,
Aye.
All right. CSI it is.
Okay,
Transfer station updates. Let's see. Stan, do you have anything you want to jump in on with that?
Well, I mean, the only thing I would like to discuss with the
Or,
group.
or do
um,
anything relative to transfer station that you think needs to be brought forward? The door's open. Go for it, man.
Yeah, I just would like the group to be thinking, or I'd like the board to be thinking about what we want the five, so we basically, so we are now making an effort to take the 5 cent bottles out of the recycling that residents put in our recycling that does not go over to the Boy Scouts.
Right.
So, Eddie has been sorting those. We've been accumulating them. Paul and I have talked about probably me getting them over to the redemption center to get cashed in, so that they're not accumulating. I know that when he does it himself, he takes for his own stuff. He hires Phil and takes a whole truckload at a time. I don't think we want to accumulate that many, nor do we want to pay someone to drive them.
Mm.
So I'm thinking, I have a trailer, I have a pickup truck. We can bring those in. So my question for the board, or my desire for the board, is to be thinking about what we want to. I'd like to dedicate that money to something. We could certainly just say that it's gonna, it reduces the cost to the transfer station. That's obviously a noble effort. But I would like to have a more tangible message as to what we're doing with that. And, or, we've also, I've talked different times too about, do we just say our overall recycling effort to talk about the metal, and not key in on the cans? Because I also don't want it to be here, bring your cans to us and don't bring them to the Scouts.
Right,
Like, I don't want to be
Right.
kind of in conflict with that, and I don't want to be perceived as anti-Scout. We want to bring all your cans to us. So
Right.
rather than highlighting and say all the can money is going here, maybe we say all the recycle, through your efforts of separating and recycling, or somehow we can come up with some wording. But I'd also like to be thinking about what we might want to do with that, and what the board's thinking is as far as a revenue stream. I don't think it'll be a ton of money, but
No.
All right, let's let me back it up just a little bit along those lines. And Sue and Donna, correct me, Sue in particular. Any revenues that we bring in go back into the general fund. Is that not correct?
That is correct, currently, and I tell them how much money I think we're gonna bring in, and they upfront us that money.
Oh, okay, okay. They give us a credit on future revenues, so to speak.
Yes, and Stan could probably talk more to that, because he used to be part of that group.
Right.
So I'd say, I think we're
Well,
gonna bring in
one
140,000 in revenues combined from
Okay.
everything. And of course, they'd say, well, I don't know if you're bringing that much, we'll give you a 135. And that's how we start our year, with those monies up front. Anything we get additional just goes straight to the town.
We
Okay.
may want to start a revolving account for maintenance on the Packers and everything. I don't know if that's feasible or not.
That's a good idea.
Look out, Ed.
Certainly should be
Yeah.
checked out. Yep.
I did have a question.
Yeah,
If,
Donna.
if you drive with your personal vehicle on town business, is there any insurance issues we have to be aware of? Because it's, it's
I'm
just
thinking,
not-
There's always got to be
Compensation.
somebody paying attention here, doesn't it?
sorry. It's because,
Yeah. No.
sorry. I just don't know if there's anything that has to be filled out for the town or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
well, he should be
Yeah.
compensated for his gas also, or
Right.
something.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yes, you would have to track his mileage.
Yep, we do have the mileage reimbursement forms.
Okay.
Do we need to have permission for
Yeah.
this too, or not?
And a little more for your time. I mean,
Well, no, because I'm paid because I'm paid for hours there
Okay.
to do things like attend this meeting and to do other, to be outside the hours of operation. I think that could fall under that.
All right, yeah, that's just something we have to watch in case it's some kind of
Yep.
cluster where you bring the cans and it ends up being more time than any of us
Yeah,
expected.
I
But,
mean,
you know,
I
we'd be
think he goes
sensitive
to-
to that, certainly.
I think he goes to Waltham. I don't know if that's the closest or if that's just where he chooses to go. So
Yeah.
I think we could look at that.
Yeah.
It might not need to be that far. I certainly don't need to incur additional mileage expense if it's not necessary. So-
Certainly be nice if there was someplace closer, but we need to
know.
explore that.
So what would they be considered, like redemption centers? Is that
Yeah,
Bulk?
there,
redemption? I don't know. I don't know how to research it.
There was one in Sterling that worked out perfect, that was run
Closed.
by the, but that closed. That was actually excellent, but that I think is closed for good now. I don't.
All right,
You would think
redemption
there would be
center.
one somewhere around the
Yeah.
Worcester area.
Alright.
one would think so. One would think so.
Well, I thought places that sold, like I thought grocery
Oh.
stores and liquor stores took them back. Did
Yeah.
they not?
It
Yeah, I
says
just
one
don't
on
know if
Worcester.
they're
That's
ready
set up
for the
bring-
kind of volume. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
This one
Um,
comes up for Worcester, Worcester Redemption Center, Recycling Center.
Yeah,
But I don't know if that's, if they take like bulk or
Bulk.
whatever.
Yeah.
Donna, would you email or text me that info
Yeah.
and I'll call them and follow up?
Yep.
And find out their availability and capacity.
To just go.
I'd
Yeah.
like,
And
Yeah.
go ahead.
How
Sue.
clo-
Oh, there's
I'd
one
like
in
to ask Stan,
Fitchburg.
what,
Yeah.
All right. bulk
what would,
recycle.
what equipment or what would you like to see at the transfer station?
The other
Well,
packer.
All right, I'll see if I can.
Go ahead, Stan.
I
Sorry.
personally would like to see some sort of, I mean, I could use the word beautification, but I mean, I would like to see some sort of enhancement to the physical property. I feel like there could be a use for maybe some, well, first of all, I mean, we need to fix the fencing around the
Right.
porta potty. That's one thing, and I think we need a fence along the side of, between the metal recycling
Yes.
and running down towards the take it or leave it. I think that probably should have a fence over there just because it is kind of an open, a wide open area. And there's also some runoff that's created kind of a big gully over there. So it's a bit of a safety issue over there. I mean, highway could come and, at least fill in where it's kind of washed away, but, I don't know. I think a
We have
fence there
chips.
might be nice.
And as
Yeah.
I've seen, I'm sure you have, Stan, when windy days, everything seems to blow in that direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Down over that banking.
Yeah.
I do have
So,
to say, Stanley, it looks so much cleaner down there.
Hmm,
When you go in, it's top, you've already done a beautification because it's so much cleaner
Well,
down there,
thanks.
the whole area. It looks terrific.
Well, thank you. I mean, and just the one thing that I thought of, and it's, I don't know how feasible it is because I have talked with Paul, I think, and possibly so, is just that, if maybe if we had some big cement planters kind of along the drive in, or maybe that little triangle out. I obviously don't want it to be in the way of highway, don't want it to be in the way of snow plowing or that, but maybe if it was something that could be like a big stone planter that we could then get, greenery / flowers in the spring or
Yeah.
something along the lines that, but again, I don't want to be creating work, but I do want to, I don't know. It's just something I
Yeah.
thought of that might make a nice enhancement,
Sure.
but I do think that it should be something tangible. I would like to see a sign, maybe, one of those signs with like the thermometers that shows the income, but to have a goal, to have there be something that folks are
Sure.
tangibly, purposefully, properly recycling, so that it's not just, oh, we're going to reduce your sticker, or we're going to reduce the rate we increase the sticker fees by. Like, that's just, that's not I mean, it's a worthwhile goal, but it's not I just don't know that it's something for
It's not,
that.
not something
Um,
people remember for more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, something to,
All right, and I
something to
think that our
smile, something to smile about too. Yeah,
well, yeah, I mean, I think our reduction of, porta potty things, or our, our efficiency on compaction, or, some of those other things, getting a maximum loads and ways to reduce our operating expenses. I think that's our way to keep down the
Right.
expenses. I'd like to see something like this that's kind of a brand new revenue stream go to something specific. But again, it's entirely up to the board. But
Well, just to continue on that thread, I would personally, I enjoy plants and gardening, and I would like to see some pops of color down there where I haven't figured out how to deal with it is the watering of such
sure,
things, as
that
we have no
would
water
absolutely be
source
an
there.
issue. Yep, that would be an issue.
right.
I mean, we have, and this is just throw against the wall and see if it sticks. We've got some slanted roofs over compactors,
Hmm.
gutter, rain barrels, we
Yep.
could collect
Well,
all
yeah.
that on site.
Sure.
Yeah. Even take
So
it or
that's
leave
an
it, the
idea
back of
to,
that,
to consider and look at.
Right.
certainly. We have a
We don't
bunch of,
want to
we have,
use the 5-gallon Poland Spring stuff.
no,
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
a 55 gallon
we have
drum that's
plenty-
at the end of a rain spigot. I mean, that is certainly a viable way to accumulate a bunch of water.
Yeah.
maybe a spigot in the bottom to fill a
Mhm.
can, sure.
Sure, right.
Excuse me.
Put it up 6 feet or something, and then but have it, have a spigot at the bottom that you can then just tap off of it. And 55 gallons of water would go a long way to watering
Sure.
plants.
I'm trying to remember.
And then
on
that
the
might be
take-
something
I'm
where
trying
we
to
could talk
remember
about
on the
maybe
take it or
getting-
leave it. I believe that's a peaked roof, isn't it?
Yes, yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because that
Yeah.
would be the place to
Yep.
collect the water, because it
Yeah,
would be on the same level or near where we're talking about possibly planting something.
Yeah, that's true.
it'd be kind of out of the way too, not in the way if you put it on the back side or something.
I was just gonna say, if we did the back corner, that would probably make a lot more sense. Yep.
Maybe we could find some
Although
gutter.
you could make an argument to do both sides, and I think people would
Oh,
be,
yeah, definitely.
and I don't think it would be a real issue.
No,
You put a gutter in a barrel and you're only taking 16, 18
Yeah.
inches of driveway.
Right.
Well, right, but you could put them on both back corners. You could put
Exactly,
them on
yeah,
both
yeah,
corners that face
certainly.
the gate instead of up front where the people are entering and exiting.
right.
And I like
And
the
we
idea
d-
of stone planters because Pete used to have flowers down there, but I think there was an issue with someone coming along and stealing them.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
I mean,
closed.
giant oversized concrete ones, I mean, they can be $200-300 a piece, but they would be pretty permanent. And I think it would be something
Yeah.
that it could be a tangible, I feel like you could purchase one with, almost not each trip, but maybe each couple of trips to the redemption
Yep.
center until we
I
had,
would- I
3,
would
4, 6
also-
of them, whatever we.
I would also suggest we check with highway and relative to cast off concrete pipe with the bell housing end, because
Right.
those can
Oh,
serve
sure.
as a planter. And
Yeah,
that sort of thing may be more readily available from other towns that highway could pick up, what
Yeah.
are people gonna do with a 2 or 3 foot section of that?
Certainly.
Probably just gonna
Yeah,
store
or
it in
even
their
the-
maintenance yard.
Right, or even the big ones that they use for drainage. I mean,
That's
the
what I'm
big,
talking about, yeah.
the bigger
Yeah.
ones that they use. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know that there's ones that are like 18 inches that you would use for like a culvert, but then there's also the
Well,
ones
you get
for
30-inch, 3
actual
feet,
storm
yeah,
drain.
big ones.
right.
yeah, sure. Yeah,
And
Okay.
we have a lot of chips down there. If you could find a spot when highway's helping you stand in, take some chips and maybe sprinkle them where you
Yeah.
like them, and dress it up,
that's true too.
just
That would absolutely help.
help
for
the
sure.
drain, the runoff, or maybe going around the corner down to the
Yep.
left to the bottom, maybe along there, and you know,
Right.
just dress.
How
dress it
about
up a
if
little.
how about if we start here? Stan, I'll get hold of Fred and maybe you and I can walk around and talk about some things there and bounce some things off of him in terms of what we're
Yes,
looking
especially,
for.
right, especially if we're gonna have any kind of an impact on things along the traveled way and
Right.
don't want to get in the way of
Yeah.
snow plowing,
Right.
don't want to get in the way of their traveling. There's certainly pathways in there that I don't know how, how much they're used and what,
Yeah.
so.
We could move them, come winter too, but actually, Paul, thinking about Fred, out back, there's a supply of stone, and maybe we could make a granite bed, like a trough. If they had any extra out there, make a granite trough, certain places that works for everybody, and use that with a plastic liner.
Yeah, we can do that, but I don't want to offload any
All this on some, yeah.
unnecessary work on highway. You know, if we
No,
get a
no.
piece of concrete pipe, that's nothing. They pick it up and put it down and put some dirt in,
What it wants.
it's simple. We need to be sensitive. I mean, Fred's willing, the highway's willing to do anything.
Exactly.
They're pleased with the changes down there.
Right.
They're
Well,
on board with us and trying to make the place look good.
Right. Well, I was just
we just
I
don't
just
wanna
want to be
abuse-
sensitive to.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
want to abuse it, want to be
I
sensitive.
was just
absolutely.
thinking 4 pieces of,
No, I know what
Granted,
you're
you-
thinking. It's
you can make a
straightforward
box.
and simple, but I think
Once
there's
it's-
even a simpler approach if we
There
can find the
probably is.
material. That's all.
And there may be some of that out back too, Paul, that just what you're talking about, culvert.
Yep.
pipe. So, Yep. Terrific.
All right. The
Any-
mattress container was adjusted this morning, Stan.
Oh, great, thank you. Sorry it needed to be.
No problem. Didn't take but 25 minutes, so.
With
What's the
with
status
highways
on the
help or
Packer?
what?
Paul?
Yeah, highway came down. I brought down some old pressure treated I had to pad under the wheels and basically level the container with a slight pitch so the water doesn't sit on the roof. But I
Okay,
wanted it fairly level so that it doesn't interfere with opening and closing of the door. So
okay,
I think we're good. And Jimmy came down with one of the other guys, and we both understand that things may settle and things may need adjustment in the future. But for
Yeah.
right now, I think it's pretty good.
good.
Very good.
Let's see.
Did you get the serial number off of that yet?
It is recorded on a letter from the DEP in your middle drawer. And while we're at it, it is
Yep.
23040.
Okay, so that's a serial number?
Yep.
Okay,
And as I look through the mattress information, you made up those sign pieces for me. I put the sign up temporary. And I discovered that Mass Department of Corrections will actually make permanent decals for us
oh, cool,
that say the same
Terrific.
thing. So
Yeah.
I ordered those today.
okay,
I figured one for each side, just in case we relocate the container, not knowing where it's
Yeah.
ultimately going to end up, for a grand total of a little less than $24. So
good.
Ugh,
No kidding.
outrageous.
Very good, otherwise I'd have to get upset.
trying to keep you calm, Mama.
I'll try
I
to find some more
appreciate
cans,
that.
Paul. Don't worry.
Oh, boy.
What's the status on our Packer, Paul, or anybody? Do we have anything?
They're both working.
Both working
Oh,
as
good.
of,
It's out?
yep, as of Friday,
Woo.
yep,
I don't
Oh,
know.
Yeah. Great.
or
Well,
Thursday.
Chip will probably be emailing an invoice. There was nothing in the mailbox today from
Yeah.
him, so that's something you need to check tomorrow, Donna, please.
Will do.
Well, that will take some heat off of you, Stanley.
Yeah.
I would say,
Well,
'cause that,
It'll be operationally, it's better too, just where we'll get maximum load.
Yeah.
Sure,
More
sure.
efficient.
Just
more
making-
efficient.
making,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. No,
logistical.
we had it basically just set. We were doing every week, and that was working out fine. But we'll now be able to time it out better.
You know, I was, when I was down there today, Stan, I cycled number 3. And for the first time, it cycled 3 times on me.
Yeah, that has happened to me as well.
Oh, has it?
It
Okay.
has, but I think it's as it's more full. I do think that it does
Oh.
that. And
Wow.
I've also
Pressure,
had
yeah.
It has a brain.
I've had one will cycle more than once if there's a larger load
Oh,
on
it
top
will.
as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Okay.
That's
So
great.
it's either a sensor or it's the compaction. or
It
both.
must be a pressure sensor.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Oh, that's great that's going. Good.
Where was
The
I?
bleach,
Donna, before I forget, question for you.
Yep,
Do you remember, well, I got a call from a company called Echo. They recycled propane tanks and all that.
okay.
The bill was $1,100 and something dollars. The guy called me, said, gee, they haven't gotten paid. I mean, he was nice.
Was it
so I-
Eco Plus?
I believe so.
Okay, I know we put that in.
Oh, no, it was put in. The question that came up
Yeah.
is on, Amy printed out their bill
Yeah,
and it had a post office box of, I don't know, 1032. And I called the guy to tell him that check was cut April 3rd.
yeah.
And if he hasn't received it, I don't know what to tell him. And he said, oh, it's supposed to be post office box 1031.
Oh.
And I'm going, but on your bill, it says 1032.
check.
And he said, I don't know whether it was him or someone else from his office spoke with you about that. Don't remember.
No, I don't.
Okay. So I told him to check with his post office, because if we went by what their bill said, we sent it to the right address, the correct address, although
Yep.
it was the wrong address as far as he was concerned.
Okay,
So that's kind of dangling.
okay, I'll check that.
And Stan would like us to order some work gloves in a smaller, like in a size medium.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tony's a little bit on the slighter side. I mean, so we had talked about shirts and possibly gloves. They're more of a winter glove, but it would be nice. And I think large would probably be okay. He was saying medium or large, but it was really more of the nitrile, like the nitrile gloves that he, because then especially in the summertime, I think those are probably going to be of more use rather than a heavy glove. I
right?
think
Yeah.
I probably would just switch to those to use during the day. So I would use the extra larges that we have there. I'm not sure, Eddie hasn't expressed any opinion, but yeah, Tony was hoping for maybe a size down, either large or maybe even medium.
Okay.
And I think one box would last quite a while, but maybe a couple boxes would be. Don't think it would be a big investment.
no.
All right, anything else with the transfer station?
The bleachers, Paul, did we, is that wood any good that somebody might want it?
I
or-
looked at them today, climbed up on them, jumped up and down.
Yeah.
And I emailed Kristen saying that I wanted to sit down with her because
Okay, yeah,
I don't want the Board of Health or transfer station to be a dumping ground
no.
for every committee in town. We
No.
need to establish a
Take it to Hudson.
policy.
Yep.
I guess highway's willing to cut these things up and throw them down.
Yeah,
All the seating material is, manufactured lumber. Couple
Oh, is it?
pieces are
Yeah.
cracked. They
Yeah.
could be replaced. but I didn't get any flex or movement in the
Right.
bleachers.
Yeah.
Pressure
didn't
treated
realize it was
lumber,
the- yeah.
they seem to be pretty solidly built.
Yeah.
Maybe not by a finished carpenter, but
Yeah,
you know, they don't seem to be going anywhere. And I was gonna suggest to Kristen that maybe Richard Hanks ought to weigh in on this before we just say, yeah, they're junk.
right.
You know, I don't know, and I don't know who's on recreation and what they know about construction or anything else. and
Exactly. They have a budget too, Paul.
I know, and I just think we ought to get another opinion. Because those bleachers, if they cut them up and throw them away, we're probably gonna be looking at 1.5 tons, 2 tons of material and
Right,
half a container load.
yeah. Well, if I was
Maybe
thinking-
not a big deal, but
No, yeah,
part of this conversation with Kristen is also about, well, when fire or police vehicles change tires, do we inherit those tires or do they make sure they
No.
get turned into the tire dealer?
they would.
In the past, we've had to eat some of that stuff. And
Yes.
I just think this is a good opportunity to have that conversation with Kristen
Yeah.
and figure out how we're gonna
Yeah.
move forward with this stuff. Because if it affects our budget, and then the residents and taxpayers need to know that part of our budget is increasing because we're handling in-house stuff from town.
Recreational. I was
Recreation,
thinking-
police,
yeah.
fire, highway,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. It's
Exactly.
just, it's kind of been an open door policy. And, you know, while with our changeover down there, and now we have people paying attention to nickels and dimes, no pun intended.
Yep.
We need to do that across the board. And, you know, if Kristen says, well, you know, that should be part of the town, or
Right.
maybe these other departments should carry a number to cover
Right.
some of these costs.
Yeah.
It's a discussion to be had. I just don't want to assume, I don't want anybody to assume that if they have something to get rid of, they can just throw it in the open top at the transfer station.
Right. Well, preservation gives rec money now, you know, the preservation account. And I was thinking if we're loading them onto a truck already, Paul, and nobody seems to want to recycle or use it, it might just go, send it to BP and Hudson, go over the scale and give recreation the invoice. If that works.
That's gonna be part of this conversation, the best way to deal with it.
Yeah, you know, if it's Trek, somebody may be interested in it, Paul.
Nah, nobody's gonna be interested in this Trex.
Oh, okay.
It's
yeah,
been
yeah.
out there for a while, you know.
Okay, yeah.
With the new houses being built in town, people want brand
Right.
new. They don't want used lumber.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking somebody building a handicap ramp or something that might, you know, need a short pieces, but it's not worth it, right?
No,
But-
no. Taking it apart, handling it, repurposing some things just doesn't make sense.
Certainly,
But I don't want to see the bleachers torn down if they don't need to be.
right.
No,
right.
only because somebody wants brand new, you know, I don't know. But I don't think that's our decision to be made. I'd like Richard, I'm gonna put Richard Hanks on the spot and say he should weigh in.
There you go.
All right, other than that, do we want to move on to the transfer station flyer? Because not that we're gonna resolve it tonight, but we need to take a look at that. We need to look at fees. And I'm gonna say right off that I've looked at the last several. And we've been using the same format. And I think it might be wise to scramble the format, because if it looks the same, people are gonna say,
one-
oh, same old thing, and they're not
Yep.
gonna read the details of it. So my suggestion is that we kind of overhaul the layout.
Okay,
Never mind, go over the information in it. But we need to we need to address the fact that things are changing down the transfer station, Board of Health, transfer station, we're doing things differently. I think we're doing them a lot better. And one way to attract attention is by changing this. And there's probably some information that's been repetitive over the years that we don't need to continue. Maybe we do. I'm just saying, everything is open to review on it. And, initial comments tonight are great, but I think certainly by next meeting, all of us should have some,
A marked up copy.
yes, a marked up copy. And
Okay.
Stan, gonna put a little bit on you relative to fee items, because you're down there, you see what comes in, you see how
Right.
it comes in.
Yep.
You and I have already had conversations probably once a week about how we're gonna deal with the stuff that gets thrown in the open top.
Right.
And don't have a good, I certainly don't have a good answer for that, but if you look at the open top any given day, you can see some miscellaneous deck demolition. Today, I
Right.
saw ceramic tile and things like that, and it's like,
Yep.
should we be eating all of this? Is it fair to
Right.
everybody? I don't know.
No, I hear you.
And with Freon, we get charged $6 a unit to remove Freon.
Right.
On the fee items, we've got a remove Freon fee of $10. Should we just roll the Freon into the cost of the unit that has Freon? So to simplify paperwork. In other words,
AC and refrigerators, we roll
a
it in.
refrigerator, just one fee, which includes the Freon removal, not
Yes.
two separate fees. I mean, we're making paperwork here.
You're right.
And we need to try and keep it simple for the people
Yeah.
working the transfer station. Because at times they get very busy and it's like, one less item to write about is a good thing.
Certainly. And we pay just one invoice out for the Freon, right, Paul?
Correct.
After, yeah.
Stan?
Yeah, and no, I mean, my point on that was just that we charge to take the item, then we're
Yep.
charging for the Freon, but then the item goes in the metal recycling, which we're getting some of the money back as well. So
Right.
Right.
it seemed like a bit of a double charge to me, but I think if we
Yeah,
just I think if we change as you said, we change some things up. Maybe we don't say white goods. Maybe we actually list the things
Refrigerator.
separately.
The
So that
specific items, yes.
so if we say refrigerator, then we can put a price with including the Freon, but and
Yeah.
then we list stove, and maybe the stove stays at 20 or whatever we decide what
Yeah.
the fee's gonna
Right,
be.
right.
But the stove doesn't include the
Yeah.
Freon charge with
The AC unit does.
dehumidifiers, but
Yeah.
there is Freon, but yeah, AC
Oh, is it? Yeah, yeah.
dehumidifier. We just include the $10 and add it to or if, even if we want to change it to 15, but whatever, just
Sure.
add it to the item and just be done with it. And then it's clear.
Yeah, I think that approach makes sense. I mean, it kind of eliminates a couple line items on the fee items here, and it just simplifies things for people.
Yeah.
Now, when you're under the gun, you got to remember, oh yeah, we're taking this in X number of dollars. Oh, I forgot to charge them for Freon. So it's like, let's get rid of that cloudiness,
Certainly. I agree with that.
And the fee items, one of the other things we obviously have to change are box spring and couch. Those are dated numbers. I mean, the new numbers are posted down there, but they need to be on our new flyer.
Right. That needs to be updated. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And rugs are another one. I've seen people come out of their
But the
car
whole
with a
house,
rug and
Because,
just
well,
throw
they're
it in the
pretty
open top.
variable. I mean, they can be very variable. That's the thing.
Right. I don't know
That's
how
You
you
know, and
yardage. I don't know
with
how
something
you-
like that, do we say, do we kind of average it and just say, okay, if you got a rug, one rolled rug you're throwing away, it's $10. Never
Right.
mind the size. You win on the small ones, you lose on the big ones.
Yeah,
You know, it's, again, simplifying for our benefit and for the residents' benefit. Um, that's the direction my thinking is going. So I'd like you
I
all
like
to
it.
consider that and change it, tweak it. I mean, I'm not saying that's what's got to be, but I think we
No,
need to
I-
be looking in those directions.
Well, I just brought down last week. I ripped up the old carpet in one bedroom. Now there was, Stan had an old book and he was trying to tell me it was $20 and I'm like, so I wrote a check for 25. And I cut my rug up in small pieces and then rolled it and taped it. So it all fit in the compactor.
Yeah.
Instead of the
Mhm.
open top. But maybe you have, wall to wall carpet. $30.
Ru-
Yeah,
Yeah, one huge
I mean,
roll. And
Right.
that's his,
The only other thing I would say is just, I know what you're saying, Paul, about sometimes you'd make out on some or you'd lose on others, but we could have something that just says a carpet and assume, maybe in parentheses, assumes 10 by 10 or something to give people an idea of what
Yes.
we're saying
Sure,
by a
yeah,
carpet.
yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
becomes a discretionary thing. Like if it's, if they're coming in with an entire pickup load, that it's they've done a whole house, then it's okay, this is not just a carpet, this is
exactly.
that's five
exactly.
times the carpet. So just because that way, if it's listed and we say assumes a certain size, then there's at least kind of a frame of reference.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
And you
I
could use
mean,
judge.
I
use
have,
judgment on it.
personally, I have no vested interest in anything other than reviewing this and trying to make more sense out of it, because over the years, a lot of these numbers have come from input from past people down there.
Mhm.
And, I guess the board has been guilty of not reviewing this as frequently as it should. So I'm just thinking, all right, and we're not gonna get it perfect this year either,
Right.
probably, but we
Right.
got a
No.
good chance to update and make things simpler and more equitable. I guess those are the two key words I'm looking at, and whatever coaching, whether it's assuming a rug is 10 by 12 or 10 by 15, whatever those numbers are, I think that's very helpful. I think that's good.
And I've been
What's our
doing
current price on propane? Excuse me, Stanley,
It's
sorry.
okay.
15.
15 on a propane? Okay.
Yeah, and we
that's
pay
not-
5 to get rid of them.
No, that's, yep. Well, Sudbury, one of them's 30, so, I mean.
But,
you can go buy
somebody
more.
has to come, well, no, with the propane tanks,
Bolton won't take them. I mean, they don't take them, period.
they don't take them, period.
No, Harvard and Bolton don't take them.
Oh,
But still, I'd rather take them, get the money, rather than seeing them on the side of the road, so.
Oh, no question. No question.
Yeah, I think anything that we don't take, I think we probably would find on the side of the road.
Yes.
Now, that brings up, the Saturday is Earth Day, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Louise is getting nervous.
Do we have extra help signed up for Saturday? Do you need extra help, Stan?
At this point, I guess I say I don't know because I haven't lived through it, but
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, because I don't feel like, it's they've talked about wanting to bring it all in and kind of pile it in front of the container to take a picture of it and then throw it in kind of thing. But
Well, I
Um,
think that a picture in the truck might be more useful than piling it and then restacking it, Stanley. I heard that, a little bit of that conversation, maybe a picture of it in the town truck or whoever's hauling it, and then have them dump it rather than everybody work twice as hard, or what do you think
yeah, I don't know
about
how
that?
it's going to get there. So that kind of comes back to me saying I haven't lived
I
through this.
think
so I don't know how it
highway
gets brought
trucks,
down.
I think highway trucks pick it up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they park one uptown until they got them on the road, then they go pick them up, but yeah.
And ordinarily, in a perfect world, which we do not live in, if our open top was empty, I would say, okay, as long as the volunteers are willing to pick it up off the ground and throw it in the open top, fine, dump it in front of the open top so we can get that PR photo of this is what
Yeah.
came off the side of the roads in town.
Huh.
But it should not be up to us to load that container. So. And
Well,
the
I mean, I'm
open,
willing
the
to help
open
them do
top
whatever.
is 3/4 full, so I don't
Right.
think it's gonna handle whatever
No.
gets picked up.
No, so
But a
the
couple-
question becomes, do we empty the open top Friday to have it be completely empty? And or do we, so right now, number 3 is scheduled to be emptied tomorrow, or was scheduled to be emptied yesterday. That should be empty now. So we're
Yeah.
gonna continue to use 1 Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. We're not gonna get through those 3 days on 1, because 1 had some stuff in it and it had half of this Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're gonna get all the way through Saturday on 1 anyway. So probably the best bet, if we really wanted to do this, would be to empty the open top maybe a little bit early. Have that
Or
emptied by
if,
Friday.
or if compactor 3 does get emptied, they could pile it up in front of that. Which.
Well, I'm afraid we're gonna
again-
be, I'm afraid we're gonna be into 3 though before,
Oh, are
we
you?
might be
Okay.
into 3 before Saturday, or at least during Saturday.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's the problem.
I have no problem with taking a picture of it right in the smaller dump truck, which it'll probably be in, if that's what it is.
Yeah, but I don't,
uh,
Bob, I don't know,
you
I don't
know,
think
it
it's gonna
shows-
be, I don't think it's gonna be 1 load. I don't think it's gonna be just
One-
1 truck. I think
One
there's gonna
load,
be,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I think we're gonna lose the effect if it's, because if they make 2-3 trips, or if it's that truck parked in
Okay.
there, if then there's others that are just bringing it bags down to the transfer station.
I
Yes.
can see some merit to having this big pile of yellow bags
yeah, oh, yeah.
with a couple people standing next to it for perspective
Yeah,
that goes out online that people and residents can see. And if that's the case, and our best option is the open top, then I mean, this is a once a year.
right,
We get the open top emptied prior to Saturday,
yeah. I
and
do
that's
think
the
that's
unit that we plan on all this material going in.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
You agree with that, Stan?
I do, because then the other thing we can do too is that I think 1 will be full by the time we're starting that. So that will be fenced off, and we can pile kind of half in front of that, half in front of the open top, so that if there is some
Yeah.
need for the open top besides Earth Day on Saturday, which I imagine there will be since it's also a regular day, there probably will be a need for utilizing the open
Right,
top
okay.
separate from this. So that way it still gives us access to it. And then the main traffic will then be on 3 as it has been, and it'll keep it out of the fray. I think that'll all work out well. So I'll get that empty for Friday.
Just to recap, we get the open top emptied. We still
Yep.
use it for bulky things that people bring in on Saturday. We keep access to one end of it or whatever.
Yep.
Stack up the yellow bags in front of it for the picture taking.
Yep,
And
yep.
then we throw those in the open top at the end of the day. Or
Yeah,
at
because
some
the
point.
yellow bags can be kind of half in front of that and half in front of number
Right,
1, and we'll
right.
the
Yeah,
they
I
can
think-
go right in from there.
I think that's a plan that works. I do.
Okay.
Okay,
Is that something you'll coordinate
Yeah.
or talk to, I don't know who,
Yeah.
AJ, Highway? I mean,
Absolutely.
all these people.
Yeah, I got to imagine they're going to come down and see me tomorrow or Thursday, kind of preemptively, because they've been pretty good about communicating.
Okay, good.
beforehand now. So
Good.
I don't think they're going to wait till Saturday to come down and talk. About
Yeah,
it.
I would hope not. I would hope not. Okay.
But even if they did, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But we'll figure it out.
Anything else?
do we have our I'm trying to get my calendar to pop back up and I'm having trouble. When's town meeting is the first week? Is that gonna interfere with
Our
our next
meeting?
meeting? Yeah,
Yeah, typically,
Right.
well, our warrant isn't as big this year. We have electronic voting, which saves time.
I think the budget's gonna be controversial. I think you're gonna,
Oh,
if you're
that's
gonna go to
true.
2 nights. I think
Yeah,
you
a
are
little
gonna go to
bit.
2 nights.
well, we can,
Well,
we-
unless Billy has a load of stuff, I'd be open to putting one off unless we have a bunch of plans coming.
When were we doing with the Tobacco Control Alliance for Joan? Have we
May
scheduled
2nd.
that yet?
That's a hearing for May 2nd or 5th. Does anybody remember?
The second to Tuesday, is that the one that's gonna interfere with the town meeting?
I
It
think
would.
so.
Okay,
Yes, it is.
all right.
If that was the date that she picked, I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't have my notes in front of me.
All right, well, we may have to sit on that and get a little more
Yeah.
information and.
Okay, I was just
Yeah,
trying to think.
Jones. Yeah. Jones
What's
willing
the-
to work with us.
All right, anything else?
Let's see, I don't know.
So I have 2 things. So I would like to be a regular part of this meeting for sure, but if nothing else, I want to be part of the next meeting where we're bringing mocked up versions of fees, and because I want to have some input on that, if I may.
Well, as
Yeah.
far as I'm
I'll make
concerned,
sure
as far
that-
as I'm concerned, you're welcome to all the meetings.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
put
no
you on the
problem.
regular distribution list, okay?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's relevant. I think it's important, and I think more communication is always better than.
Oh,
less.
absolutely. Well, you know,
We used to try this, but it never.
I love
pardon my attempt at bad humor, but we got a live one at the transfer station. I want to take advantage of it. Somebody who can walk, chew gum and help us because we
Right,
can't do this alone. And the transfer
and-
station's a big part of the Board of Health,
Right.
and it's a big
Right.
part of our town fabric. So, the more specific, the more on board we are with things, the better. I see no downside, and some meetings, they vary, obviously, if they're hearings and so forth.
Well,
but
sure, right, and if we,
But,
posting
we'll get-
agendas or
Deal
whatever,
with your stuff that, involves
Right.
us and all that, and then we cut you loose, so you can go do
Yeah.
your thing and
right,
Right.
or if you guys, if
beat
you
our
have-
heads against the wall about septic systems.
yeah, I mean, if you had a meeting that you need, or if that needed to
Oh,
be
yeah.
front loaded
No,
with
that's-
something that I
that's-
can be on the
yeah.
back end too, so just let me know.
That's perfectly okay. That's something
Yeah.
we deal with meeting to meeting and just
Yep.
keep you posted on it.
It
Really
is-
mark up that flyer, whatever you think for an ideas, because
Sure.
it'll help. Fresh and thinking about those compost bins again, if Stanley, you have any ideas about distributing them or selling them or trying to.
Well, there's been there's
push
been a
them with-
fair amount of interest just since we put that one out. I've had no less than
Oh, good.
4 people
Very
comment.
good.
I haven't actually sold any, but
Okay.
several
Yeah,
people have
yeah.
noticed it, talked about it, asked me what my inventory was. Are we gonna run out? I'll be back in an hour. They haven't done it, but
Are we
But
gonna
there's
run
definitely
out?
been talk.
If we run out, we're done for now. If there's a run on them, but yeah, they
Right.
actually work. I mean, it's the,
yeah, no, we
Just
have one down
getting
at church,
people-
and they work great.
yeah. Very good.
All right, before we close up, any last issues, comments?
No, not, and did Billy leave any notes, Sue or Donna, that we have to deal with? No?
No, nothing.
No.
important.
It was pretty
Very
clear.
good. Very good.
Yeah,
And
I'm
Johnny,
gonna
Johnny-
try and get a reimbursement schedule into you tomorrow, Donna.
okay. I'll be there 8 to noon.
8 to noon, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
Well, I can sign it when you're ready, Donna. Just send me
I will let you know. Thank you.
a deal.
and you want me to shoot for 9:30, 10 o'clock, Donna?
Whatever's good for you. We just want to get those bills into Amy, because it's
Okay.
Wednesday, and probably payroll Wednesday or Friday. I'll be back Friday, so I can do payroll then. Or if you're coming in Wednesday, do you feel comfortable, Stan, give me the payroll? The verbal tomorrow?
Didn't we do 2 weeks, or was that,
We did, but now we have to get to the next
this is
week
the new
too.
one?
Yeah, yeah, they
Thought this
keep
was-
going.
No, I know, I thought this was the.
No, we paid, yeah, but this will be for the next week.
Right, okay,
So.
And-
And if
okay.
Sue's coming in tomorrow, if you would just want to call me tomorrow, I could
Yeah.
call you. So, and then we could get the, the backup for our office,
yeah,
just because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want her to have to come in, Wednesday and Friday for signatures, because.
Sure, she's only saying that because we're being recorded. Otherwise.
No.
Well,
Oh,
it is-
wow.
it's a text from- yeah.
You has to drive almost from the other side of town, so you gotta be.
Yeah.
Well, I owe you checks
Donna-
from last week, too, so I can drop that off tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Donna, is your cat all black?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, boy.
Ed,
Oh,
turn around
boy.
this way. Look this way.
Most favorite cat I ever had was an all black cat.
Yep, see, all black. Yep,
And I just saw it move, so I know it's real.
yeah, he's
Hadn't moved in
just,
a while.
yeah, no, he's been bopping. back and
What's your
forth.
timing down there tomorrow, Donna?
8 to
and Sue?
noon.
Okay.
Do you, what, 10-ish? What did you say? Something.
Whenever you want me
And
down
sure.
there.
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
But
Probably,
you'll be there from 8 to noon?
yeah,
Donna?
so probably 10, just so I can get the voucher, because we gotta pay
Get
that.
your
bill
feet
for
underneath you,
the
yeah.
compactor. And we gotta do that letter, which I've already got 90% done for the state. So, and
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
print out that picture, trying to print it out on my phone that you sent me
Okay.
with the verbiage on it. Hopefully that's good enough, and I get the serial number. So,
And on that, please indicate that that's a temporary sign and that we
Okay.
have ordered decals from Mass Corrections.
I'm sorry.
And they're listed in the in that same letter that's in the drawer.
All right, we ordered, I'm sorry, decals from.
I
Yes,
believe
yeah,
it's Mass Corrections.
Mass-
They're
How did you
printing
hook into
department.
that, Paul? That was a pretty good find, huh?
Yeah, that's a
That
good
was
price.
in the information we received.
Nice.
It only took me 3 times to read the letter before I realized we get decals.
Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
we'll take them, yeah. No,
yeah.
Don, I have a dentist appointment in the morning and I
Yep.
have an appointment out in Leicester afterwards. How much time do you need with the payroll? Do you guys just need to sign off on it and turn it in? Is that kind
Yeah.
of the idea, or do you need?
Yeah, I do the actual, I plug it into the computer. It takes me 5 minutes. But
Okay,
Sue's
so if
gotta
I had it
sign
to you
all
by
payroll.
11 If I had it to you by 11:15, is that, or I mean, is that
That
pushing it?
works.
Yeah, as long as Sue's around to sign it, that's fine.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm gonna go visit Stan tomorrow afternoon anyways.
Okay.
I
Well,
have all the carpet padding
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
that I gotta bring
Yeah, but
back.
you
Oh,
need the-
well,
you need the
that's
payroll
really
down there in the
expensive
morning, though.
stuff.
Right, right. Well, you can call it in if you want, and then she can pick up the backup.
oh, okay.
So that'll be just as easy. What are
what
you
draw,
doing?
does the green box work for you guys, or is that, you won't know it's there, right?
No,
No, better handoff if people are in the building.
Exactly, and it gets there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Hi, honey.
okay.
All
Can
right.
I make a motion?
Please.
Sure.
I'd make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second,
All in favor, Sue,
Aye.
Bobby,
Move, move,
Aye.
move.
Paul, aye.